Okay, we're going to continue our work with graphing parabolas. We started with f of x equals x squared and minus x squared. And now look, we have f of x or y equals x squared minus 4. Now with all functions, there's something really easy happens when you subtract 4 to a function. It'll bring the whole thing down 4. It just shifts. Instead of it being at 0 and 0, the whole thing will shift down to 0 and minus 4. If I put a 0 in there, I get minus 4 out for y. Okay, that's the first thing to kind of notice. We've got the shape of this. We know that this is a happy parabola. Now, we follow the same route that we do with lines before. We would like to find the y-intercept. We put 0 in there, and we get y is minus 4. The whole thing shifts down minus 4. But to find the x-intercept, well, that's another story. This f of x or y, we let it equal 0 to find the x-intercept. But with a parabola, you don't just have one x-intercept, you're going to have two. There's two solutions to this quadratic equation of 0 equals x squared minus 4. Now the x squared minus 4, if you remember, you go, hey, that's a difference of squares. That's a difference of squares. There's another, actually maybe easier way. If you just put 4 on the other side and take the square root, you'll get 2 or minus 2. But it's actually good to do this factoring business because some parabolas you get later on, you have to factor it, so it's a good idea. So you go, hey, x squared minus 4, a squared minus b squared. Wasn't there a thing where I subtracted and I added and I multiplied in brackets and I got this x squared minus 4? I think it does work. See, x times x gives me x squared. Minus 2 times plus 2 gives me minus 4. And the inside product, minus 2x, and the outside product, plus 2x, it cancels, and it's not there. So this is another way of writing x squared minus 4. It's x minus 2 times x plus 2 in brackets. And now you're looking at the solution. You can just think to yourself, what would I put in for x that would make this equal 0? Well, 2 minus 2 is 0. And now this would be 4, 2 plus 2, but 0 times anything is 0. So 2 makes this whole thing true. You could go back and test it in here. 2 squared minus 4 is 0, so it does work. But what about minus 2? Well, minus 2 plus 2 equals 0, so it's a solution. And negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 minus 4 equals 0. So these are called the roots or the solutions to this quadratic equation. And they are x-intercepts. Well, what does this look like? Let's take a look here. I got my computer to graph this perfectly, but all you would do is you'd make sure you put a 2 there and a minus 2 for the x-intercepts, a minus 4 for the y-intercept, and then you connect it in the best kind of curve you can. And then you label it with f because it's your function f. And one last thing, it's kind of important for parabolas to put down the axis of symmetry. So this line, which the equation of it is x is always equal to 0, that's called the axis of symmetry. There's your y-intercept, there's your x-intercepts, and there's the whole thing sketched. Not so hard. Okay. Yeah, not so hard.